Hey, what's up? We are getting ready to cover my first three steps in my 10-step process for program launch for people who are experts in a particular domain. They spend time in the front of rooms coaching, training, speaking, consulting, or on stages. They have a signature talk or a defined consultant or coaching framework that they use to take some specific customer from a point A to a very predictable point B inside of that framework. And in my launch in a day programs, a half day intensive, as well as I presented as a master class as well in different formats. But in this program, you learn exactly how to go through this process to basically in 24 hours get stage one of my four-stage layered launch process up, out, activated, people invited, pre-sale revenue generated. And so I'm going to walk you through the first three stages of that right now. Let's dive right into it. Okay. So stage one, let me jump on into Asana. I use a project management dashboard to track these stages. And again, they're very well defined, very streamlined. But stage one of this 10-step process is super simple. You're going to select your date for your, what I call your stage one, 60 to 90-minute one-line workshop. Okay, so this is the first step in the four-stage layered launch process. You select a date that is no less than 2 weeks out, no more than 3 weeks out. Very, very simple. This is a date for your first workshop. Does not matter whether you have a title, does not matter whether you have a topic selected, does not matter whether or not you have your customer avatar refined. Don't worry about any of that. Choose the date and choose the time. No less than 2 weeks out, no more than 3 weeks out. Step two is you're going to create what I call your skeleton outline for your full course. This is not you going into paragraph detail on the stuff that's going to go into the course. We don't need to do that. We want to keep it high level, all bullet points. And it's 5 layers deep. Let me walk you through the 5 layers. Layer one is you're going to write out the name of each one of your modules. So that is like the main buckets that the course covers. You want it to be no less than 5, no more than 10. Less than 5, you kind of got a micro course. More than 10, and you have probably 2 courses that you're trying to jam into one course is too much content. You're going to do better breaking that up into 2 courses. Then you've got your lessons inside of each module. And this is, again, this is literally just you got the main module. What are you going to cover inside of that module? Those are the lessons. Layer 3, you have your lesson points, or what we call your micro topics. So inside of each lesson, there are topics that you're going to cover. And those are going to be written as bullet points too, no paragraphs. Inside of each of those topics, of those micro topics, there's going to be information areas that are covered, generally no less than 3, no more than 7. And inside of each information area, there are what we call areas of focus. Okay, so it's 5 layers deep. And when we actually outline the information, you'll see that it generally goes about 5 layers, and that's it. All right, so I'm going to give you an example directly from one of my students' courses. This is a course called Escape Student Loan Debt, a gentleman named Brenton Harrison. So his module 4 is student loan forgiveness and public service loan forgiveness. Okay, that's the module. Lesson 1 inside that module is qualifying for public service loan forgiveness. Now let's scroll down to micro topic 2. Micro topic 2 is FTE employment. An area of focus 2 inside of FTE employment is multiple eligible employers, and an area of focus content 1 inside of the multiple eligible employers can be combined to qualify for FTE employment. Okay, that's 5 layers deep that this particular structure goes. And inside of your skeleton outline, you want to just bullet point it just like that, 5 layers deep for each of your modules. And the thing to remember here is you can get this process done if you're an expert, right? This is not if you're trying to figure out a topic that you just want to cover and you're researching it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you are an expert in a particular topic, you can get through this skeleton outline in about an hour, you know, because it's stuff that you know, that you know, that you know. It's like looking at the skin on the back of your hand. You know this stuff on an unconscious level, and it just comes right out when you start to document it. Mostly, we're just missing the format to be able to take the information that we know and structure it properly so it becomes a robust course that's easy to put together. And your final step in this three-step process is you're going to select the topic for your stage one 60 to 90-minute online workshop. And when you're choosing your topic, this is not your full online course. Be clear about that. This is just the 60 to 90-minute online workshop that is stage one of your four-stage layered launch process. So how do we select the topic? Well, the topic is going to be the single most important and foundational micro topic that's included in the entire course. How do we get there? First, we start with what is the most foundational module in the entire course? Okay, once we have that, what's the most foundational lesson inside of that module? Of all the lessons, what's the most foundational lesson inside that module? Great. Now, the third point that we're looking for is what is the most important single micro topic inside of the single most foundational lesson inside of the single most foundational module. Once we have that single most important micro topic, which is 3 layers down, then that becomes our topic for our entire 60 to 90-minute online workshop. And the information areas that are under that micro topic become the bullet points that we cover during that masterclass. That is how we figure out the time and date, the skeleton outline, and then ultimately the workshop focus or the title. I mean, not the title, the topic, what we're going to cover in that 60 to 90-minute workshop. And the reason why we do it this way is we want to pull out information and cover it in detail just enough so that they're able to say, "Oh my goodness, that was so good. And it was so informative." And I don't know any of this stuff. If that tiny bit of information, that's just like one little micro lesson, right? If somebody can get so much value from that one little lesson, it becomes a foregone conclusion that they really know in their mind's eye they need to have your full course if they're going to have success in producing the outcome that your course promises. So that is the methodology. Those are the first 3 steps. Inside of my half-day intensive, we cover all 10 steps, and all participants launch their stage 1 workshop inside of the 4 hours of the half-day intensive. And when I say launch, I mean Eventbrite page up, promoted to your warm network, first pre-sale revenue generated. So it truly is a launch in a day. That is what my format looks like. I hope this has been valuable for y'all tonight to understand what we mean, or what I mean when I say show, don't tell. It's one thing to describe what your program does or your product or your service does. It's another thing to actually show it in real time. And so the process that y'all saw, if we can move through all of that, like the first 3 steps out of 10 inside of a handful of minutes, imagine what can be done inside of 4 hours. And that's what a show and tell narrative looks like. You got to give a little bit. And on the other side of that, the customer client, it becomes a foregone conclusion. If we can do that in that little bit of time, what can we do if we're in the full program? Y'all have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you next time.